This video is going to be slightly different to the usual content that I'm bringing out, but don't worry, we're going to go back to the regular schedule next week. For everyone who doesn't know me yet, I'm Marius, hi, and I help overwhelmed people design a system to increase their personal and professional focus, productivity, and resilience. But that's not always what I did. Not long ago, I was a physics student, and on the 17th of November 2021, I started what people call a Study With Me live stream. It's basically a live stream where most often students stream themselves studying. That is often done in Pomodoro sessions, so there's like a certain period in which they study, and then they have like a shorter period which they talk to the chat and interact with the community. To this day, I've streamed 718 times, which is absolutely absurd and super crazy. And most of the streams were incredibly fun, but all fun things will eventually come to an end. And that is where we are today. Because I've streamed up to 16 hours a day, most often 10, sometimes 8, sometimes 6 hours. But I've been very consistent with that. Still, there's more to just going live every single day. And I had some high anticipations of myself, as well as the community did, because I was supposed to be focused, but got distracted quite easily. I sadly built up a habit of just being able to be productive when the live stream is running, and was very undisciplined, sometimes even quite lazy when I didn't go live one day. So I felt like an imposter. In particular now, because I'm not studying for university anymore. I now need to work and needed to work, even though I was streaming once in a while, which interfered with the live stream. But most importantly, I set myself the idea, the goal, the high anticipation of becoming the best version of myself. Of becoming not just someone, that's what I call it. And to represent that type of human being. But to be honest, I didn't really live up to that promise. I couldn't, because I was bounded to a chair and to a very unhealthy routine. Still, to this day, I'm very goals driven. I like planning, and in particular to execute on all those plans. Which is why there were also quite good things that came out of streaming. Way before I started streaming, I dreamt of becoming an entrepreneur, of starting my own company. And then, in 2022, I did that, because I built up the courage to do so. I even launched my first products, but believe me, it all didn't go quite swimmingly as expected. And that is simply explained. My old behavior was still stuck inside of me. And now that I need to perform, not because I want to, but because I absolutely have to, I will give my best to do so. So I have found an offer, and that would be, I want to help students, but now also professionals, creatives, entrepreneurs, people who are already established in their lives, overcome the problems that I have battled. Procrastination, a lack of focus and giving easily in when it comes to distractions, and staying sane in this world in which we're pressed into some form of negative behavior. And I'm doing so by providing the tools and knowledge for my clients to create systems that they can overcome those problems. So even though I'm not streaming anymore, the content is actually going to get better and bigger. I'm now not just going to focus on study tips, but also productivity, and in particular reveal my very, very long studies about goal setting and in particular achieving goals. Because there's a system that I found on how anyone can achieve any goal, and I'd like to share that with you. I now feel clear about my vision, and I hope that you're all going to join me bringing it to life. Now that being said, see you all next week and have a wonderful, productive day. Goodbye.